Ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of people ask me to do updates to stories that they see on the channel. This is actually going to be one of a couple. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get there because police have to do their investigations. Sometimes it's the autopsy that might take time. Sometimes they might have to gather certain evidence or maybe even wait for certain people to come forward to say something, confirm it, or whatever the case is. But in this case, we just got back some information, and the woman that you see on my screen, the mother, if you could even call her that, is a mother of not one, not two, not three, not four, but she gave birth to 5 human beings. As you guys can see from her Facebook page, it says mother of 5, right? And with this story, I had a lot of things that I looked at and I said, you know what, this doesn't look right. These things look wrong. And I called some things out and people said, Jay, I think you're being too harsh. Well, it looks like I was right, because what I'm getting ready to do is give you guys some updated information. Some of the things that I say are not going to sit well with your sensibility. So if you guys can't handle a little bit of cursing, a little bit of emotion, or whatever the case is, then if you guys would do me a favor, and you might have to exit the channel if you can't handle that. But for everybody else, if you would, please listen with an open mind. Updated as of today, East St. Louis. An East St. Louis mother has been charged in St. Clair County in the deaths of her 5 children in an apartment fire in August. So this was back on my birthday. Very, very recent. Her name, let me see if I can get back to her face. I want y'all to see the mother's face. Right here, that is Sabrina M. Dunnigan, 34 years old. And she is charged Wednesday with 5 counts. Count it, 5 counts of endangering the life or health of a child, a felony charge. Online records indicate that there are pending grand jury actions in this case. A judge set bail at $75,000, but right now she is not in custody yet. But this is all still going in the right direction. Don't flip out about the $75,000 yet. This is all still kind of preliminary, okay? Now, Dunnigan's 5 children, who are all younger than age 10, died in an apartment fire on August the 6th. The blaze was reported at about 3 a.m. on the 2nd floor of an apartment building at 560 North 29th Street after the mother Dunnigan had gone out. Quote unquote. Authorities alleged that she left her children unattended. And if they don't give some of these details, I'll tell you guys exactly what happened. Dunnigan could not be reached for comment, but her father, by the name of Greg Dunnigan, spoke to the Post-Dispatch, and by the way, I'm getting this from stltoday.com, but spoke to Post-Dispatch about the charges on Thursday. He said he can't believe authorities would charge her with the crime after everything that she lost. That's where I start to have a problem. When a person is brought up on charges, I can't understand why people won't at least wait until the court starts to happen. Because if the police have enough to charge you and arrest you, it's something you did wrong. And if there's something you did wrong in connection to 5 dead children, don't you think that we should wait and see what happens in court first? Because those are some very strong allegations. I just flat out refuse to believe that the police are just locking up a ton of innocent people. Does it happen? Yes. Do they get it wrong? Yes. But more times than none, they actually get it right based on the evidence that they have, okay? He said, why are they trying to do this to her? And again, this is her dad. She done lost all she can lose already. And they really wrote it how he said it. Why they want to take the rest away, meaning herself. She don't have nothing left. The news these people are terrible. They don't look. They wrote exactly the way that this man said it. They quoted him directly, and they are not wrong for doing that. But he doesn't realize when he said she don't have nothing left, which is a double negative, that means she does have something left. But we're not going to be the grammar police today, right? Okay. The children who died were Loy-el Dunnigan, who was 2 years old, Jabari Johnson, who was 4 years old. Let me see if I can get all of their pictures here at once. I know I have it right here. Best picture. That is the best picture with a compilation of all of them. Cute children, too. Loy-el Dunnigan, age 2. Jabari Johnson, age 4. Twins, 8-year-old girls, Heaven and Nevaeh, which is Heaven spelled backwards. And Deontay Davis, who was 9 years old. That was the oldest. Greg Dunnigan, her father, said his daughter does not have a lawyer. Please bookmark that part of the story. I'm going to read it again. Her own dad, who was the children's grandfather, said that his daughter does not have private counsel. She does not have a lawyer. So here's my question. Why do people believe so much in lip service? Why do people believe in just running their mouth and putting nothing behind it? No action behind it, no money behind it. Let me explain what I mean. Dad was real quick to pop his happy ass out there and try to defend his daughter, who was already being just levels and levels of irresponsible. Number one, having too many children that you couldn't take care of, having children by multiple men, having a thug boyfriend who tried to burn down your house the first time. Yeah, there was actually a time her boyfriend tried to burn down the house. Yes, y'all heard that right. The first time. And I actually saw that video for the first time. That man messed that house up to high heaven. Okay? Lastly, why are you so quick to talk about what your daughter didn't do, but you won't put a dime on her lawyer fees? Pay her retainer, Dad. You're a grandfather. You should be able to do that. Your daughter's grown. You should have some retirement, some savings, some more family members. If you truly believe in your daughter, why would you not put something on her retainer? Am I right or am I wrong? Let me tell you guys also where I'm correct. If you guys did not know, there was actually a person, and I think I still have that picture. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Yes, I do. I'm very smart. Just to let you guys know, DJ Just J is not dumb. I'm very, very smart. Okay? I'm going to show you guys something. See what this is, guys? This is a GoFundMe. And this GoFundMe page was put up by a person by the name of Austria Harrell, who was organizing this fundraiser on behalf of the biological mother, Sabrina Dunnigan. Can you guys see that? Or do I need to break out my trusty whiteboard? Do I need to break out the whiteboard? Yes, I think I do. So here we go. Right here, if you guys will direct your attention to the center of the screen. Right there. See that name? Who the recipient is? Yes, that's the biological mother. Do you see how much they tried to raise for her? $5,000, $1,000 per child? Yes, that seems pretty reasonable, right? But what did these good donors, 560 donors decide to do? Oh, they went above and beyond because this woman lost everything. Everything? Everything. This woman lost everything. And they were going to put this towards the funeral. Now, what's the problem with that? What's the problem with that? Some of you guys did not know funeral expenses were already paid for in full. From the caskets to the performance, to the plots, to everything. Like Cat Williams said. Shout out to Cat Williams, by the way. That's my guy. That's one of my favorite comedians. So let me say that again. The funeral was already paid for. And on top of that, they died, and I think the state actually covered some of it too, if I'm not mistaken. But just know that the funeral was already paid for. So if it was already paid for, then that would mean that you didn't have to put any money towards the funeral. So if you didn't take the $22,600 and put it towards the funeral, then wouldn't that mean that you still should have the entire $22,600? Or is something wrong with DJ Just Jay? Is there something wrong with me? Am I missing something? $22,000 is in your possession. Hashtag, where's the money at then? Is $22,000 not enough to retain proper counsel, private counsel, a lawyer? Or am I tripping? But let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's just act like we didn't hear none of those facts. And all of those are facts, by the way. Greg Dunnigan, who is her father, he said, excuse me, hold on. Greg Dunnigan said he and his wife lived in the same apartment building as Sabrina and her 5 children. Lived in the same building, but they actually said they lived in the same apartment initially, so they might have changed that. All were upstairs. The family of 8 were staying in a 1-bedroom apartment. See, so I'm not tripping. It says the family of 8 were staying in the 1-bedroom apartment, but Greg Dunnigan and his wife were in a separate part near the back inside of the 1-bedroom apartment. Yes, DJ Just Jay, you have a question? Yes, I do. How is it physically possible? If y'all saw that building, let me see if I can bring y'all a picture. I want to show y'all another picture of this apartment building. Yeah. I want you guys to take a look at this. This is the apartment building that is burnt up. As you guys can see, this is not a large place. It's not a very big place at all. I put this on the screen so you guys can see it in its entirety. How many people do you think should be able to fit inside of that 1-bedroom apartment? If you ask me, I say 1. Because that's why it's called a 1-bedroom. So you had the mom staying there, that's 1. You had 5 children, that's 6 people. Then your father, 7, and your father's wife, that's 8 people. 8 people, 1-bedroom apartment. Wanted to stress that. Let's keep going. He said him and his wife were supposed to be watching the children when Sabrina left to go pick up her boyfriend, the same boyfriend that lit her first house on fire. The same boyfriend. And shout out to Illicit Deeds, because Illicit Deeds was the ones that make sure that I got that information. Left to pick up her boyfriend. She abandoned her children at 3 o'clock in the morning to pick up her boyfriend from work at around 3 a.m. Grandpa repeated that account again on Thursday, but added, "It just so happened we fell asleep." Him and his wife jumped from the apartment's 2nd floor to escape. And I want y'all to remember that you're talking about grandparents, elderly people who are claiming that they jumped from the second floor of an apartment, hit the ground, and they're not injured. If I fell off if I fell off some steps, I might turn my ankle, might break my ankle. How do you jump out of a 2-story apartment? Like, what? And you don't hurt yourself at all. And matter of fact, you were so quick to save yourself, you realized that something was wrong. And then you didn't go for the kids. So they jumped and left the children. Sabrina Dunnigan had returned home that morning on her birthday to find her apartment filled with smoke and fire. So that means that she didn't even immediately go back because she was with her boyfriend. She has suffered burns on her arms and feet trying to reach her children but could not save them. St. Clair County Coroner Calvin Dye Sr. said that 4 of the children died at the scene and the 5th one at the hospital. Dye hasn't provided updates on the 4 who died in Illinois, but the St. Louis Medical Examiner's Office said Nevaeh, who died after being brought to the hospital, died of smoke inhalation, and the manner of death was classified as accidental. The fire has been under investigation by Illinois State Fire Marshal's Office. Questions have been raised after the fire about whether the children had been home alone, which is what fire officials initially indicated. And I want y'all to bookmark in your mind that her father is trying to come out and defend her. So don't think that they wouldn't have concocted a lie and said that they were in the apartment and they jumped from the 2nd floor, which doesn't even sound feasible at all for an elderly person. How many elderly people do y'all know that could jump out of a 2nd-story window? 2 of them, not 1, but 2, and not hurt themselves gravely. So I already think that's a lie. Christopher G. Allen, a spokesperson for the St. Clair County State Attorney's Office, said that the office doesn't want any reports released to the public about the cause of the fire until the case is prosecuted, because I told y'all, I think it's an arson. Who's responsible? I don't know. It's a lot of speculation. Sabrina Dunnigan and her father have said that they suspect it was an electrical fire. They suspect, of course, that's what they said. We think it was an electrical fire. You're not the experts. Why would you be talking about it at all? Huh? Y'all hear me? They claim the cramped apartment lacked smoke detectors. Rodney McIntosh, a former police officer who was in the building, who's the building's landlord, however, said that he put smoke detectors in all of his rental properties. Charging documents in the St. Clair County say that Greg Vespa, an investigator with the State Fire Marshal's Office, alleged that Sabrina Dunnigan had left the children unattended and knowingly caused or permitted a child to be placed in circumstances that endangered the child's life or health. That's where we are so far. In Illinois, a crime can be a misdemeanor unless a person's second offense or the child dies after being put in danger. Dunnigan is charged with 5 felonies, each of which can carry up to a 10-year prison sentence. A parent charged with a crime after his or her own child dies may be sentenced to probation. So I want to throw that out there real quick. Let me give you guys the fair usage, and we'll go ahead and start with the news videos and my commentary that I initially did. Okay, let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And by the way, if you guys are watching, do me a favor and please click that thumbs up. As many people who are watching right now, we want to have that many thumbs up. So if you guys will click that thumbs up, that would be awesome. So just look down for a moment. Please click that thumbs up. Okay? Thank you. Now I'm going to take a pause real quick. I'm going to pause the recording Yes, you got my attention. Yes, I saw y'all typing. I'm not blind when 15 people are trying to contact me. So yes, put the StreamYard link in there for her to call in, if you would. I'm on StreamYard, so to Melody, click that link. I think that was Melody, right? Call in link. And I'm telling you guys, and I'm going to warn you guys, if you guys are not family members, do not call in because I will block you and I might say something that you might not like. So that's a fair warning to anybody and everybody. Don't click that link unless you are a family member that is going to contribute to this story. Okay? I just posted the link in there about 6 times and I tagged her name. So I'm going to be waiting on her to click that link. Matter of fact, while we're waiting, why don't you guys do me a favor? Oh, thank you. Let me see. We had Kim, Cecilia. She said the honors in the chat. Okay, thank you, Cecilia. Thank you, Josh. And thank you, Little Bit. And thank you, Lee. And thank you, Sylvia. And thank you, Brandy. I got it, y'all. I got it, y'all. There's the link. I'm going to give her 5 minutes to click that link. The only thing you need is a microphone. As long as you're talking on a device that has a microphone, you just click that link and it'll bring you in. Just make sure that green line is moving. If the green line is moving, it shows your voice is there, then I can hear you. But if that's not moving, then it means I probably won't be able to hear you. But I'm not going to put your face on the screen unless you want to actually be on the screen. But I'm waiting, and I'm not going to stop my stream and wait until you get here, but I'm waiting on you to get here. So I need you to kind of do that kind of quickly, okay? So until she gets here, let's go ahead and keep going with our story. Here's my original commentary. This video is about, what, 5 minutes, I think? Let's listen to what I originally said. Here we go. Let's talk about these. So I want to make sure that you guys have your underwear and your panties buckled on really tight. So if you don't have your panties or your boxers on real tight, I want y'all to make sure and buckle them up, because I'm going to say some things that are probably going to make you really jump out of your underwear. On July 24th, this was right at about 30, 31, 32, 33 days ago. The biological mother said, here go this never being able to sit down shit again. If I'm a Uber driver, just say det. Or that she meant T-H-A-T, but D-E-T, I guess, means the same thing. So when I saw this post, I would assume that she was talking about this so-called friend that she was picking up from work. So why is it that anybody, and this is why it doesn't make any sense, and I'm talking about the mentality of the mom. If you have 5 kids that you're trying to take care of by yourself with no husband, then why would you be doing favors for anybody? If you are that destitute that you can only afford a 1-bedroom, not even a 2 or 3 bedroom that's paid for by Section 8, but all you can afford to be in is a 1-bedroom apartment, how didn't Child Services catch this? Then you shouldn't be helping anybody ever. You shouldn't be giving anybody a ride ever. You shouldn't be cooking for anybody ever. You shouldn't be doing for anything for anybody ever. I would give the shirt off of my back. No, ma'am. No, please don't. Okay? She said, welp, single again. Let me hearken back to what Illicit Deed said earlier. Illicit Deed said that that the boyfriend tried to set her house on fire before. Did y'all catch that? Illicit Deed said that the boyfriend at some other point tried to set this house on fire before. Can somebody please tell me what that says on my screen? That is a screenshot from the biological mother on July the 8th. What does that say? Kids irk. You can draw whatever conclusions you want to with that, But again, you have to remember, all I'm doing is painting a picture of why I believe that they need to do a hell of a lot more investigating, okay? What if this fire was set on purpose? Who set this fire is beyond me. I don't have any idea. All I know is that people are giving different stories and we don't know what's going on. What if we find out that this was done on purpose as opposed to an accidental electrical fire? Because the fire department is really good at what they do, and they're going to be able to find out whether this was an accident because the apartment had a faulty electricity or faulty electrical wires or whatever the case is, or if this was a fire that was set. What if this was an attempt on the life of those 5 kids and the grandmother and grandfather? What if? I'm just asking a question. Please don't get mad. What if the goal, regardless of whose plan it was to execute the grandmother and grandfather and all 5 kids, and then you can go on and live a happy life without them, since kids irk you, according to your own words? Now, is that far-fetched? I don't think it is, because I want you guys to think about this. How happy do y'all think that the biological mother, Sabrina Dunnigan, was? How happy do you think she was living in a 1-bedroom apartment? Living in a 1-bedroom apartment with one person is already hard enough. But how hard is it when you add another person, and then 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 you're trying to balance that with a boyfriend? Look at that apartment. How pleasant do you think it was living inside that apartment? Do y'all think that they were happy living inside of that apartment? Does that look like a happy-go-lucky place? Does it look like a really nice place? Would you guys like to move your family in that apartment? Would you like to live in there? That seems like a pretty stressful situation to have to go through. So here's the scenario. What would mom's life look like with no grandparents, because the grandparents are doing nothing but draining on her because they clearly can't take care of themselves as grown adults? They ain't got no place to live, living inside of a truck. Grandparents are draining on you, so clearly you don't need them there. You probably didn't want them there. What if you didn't have your children anymore? You're 34 years old. Could you make more children? Yeah. Clearly you're pretty fertile. It don't seem to be nothing wrong with your womb. You just had a child less than 24 months ago. And you got a new boyfriend, a fiance. I'm sure your fiance probably would like to have a family of his own with you, right? I'm sure he loves you and wanted to make kids with you. But how beneficial would that have been for him to create kids with a woman who already got 5 of them? And now look at this. Now she has none. 0. Mom has started over from scratch. Now she got none. How hard do you think it would be for mom to go make some more kids? What did the mom get in return for the loss of her children? Mom got almost $25,000 in GoFundMe money that is not going to be taxed. It's going to be directly given to her, and she doesn't have to put a single dime of that money down on those children's funerals because those children's funerals are already paid for. And I hate to use this pun, but I have to. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Lauren Traeger.
I gotta say, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I like listening to myself sometimes. Maybe y'all find that weird, but I don't. Let's go.
Family of 5 children killed in a devastating fire at East St. Louis is speaking out tonight as they mourn an incredible loss. News 4's Gabriela Vidal spoke with those who knew the children best and shares their message for the community.
It wasn't one kid. It wasn't even two. It was all of them. She lost all her children.
All right, let's rewind this. She is in the chat or in the StreamYard. Let me go ahead and bring her in.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes, I'm on here.
All right, I can hear you pretty good. Just make sure and talk directly into the mic, and make sure you don't have YouTube playing if you can.
Oh, on you guys? What, on
Yeah,
my
so
TV?
if you have any televisions on or any type of other media on, if you
yeah,
would,
my
either
television
pause
is
them
on. I got to
or
turn it off?
yeah, either pause them or mute them.
Okay. Okay, I muted the TV.
All right, so give me just a moment here. I just need to put your name up here. I'm not going to put your face on the screen, okay?
Please don't. Please don't.
Okay? So I will at least put your name up here so when I go back and look at this, I'll remember who I spoke to.
Okay,
So,
great.
if you will, please do me a favor and introduce us. Let us know who you are and how you tie into the story.
Okay, right now?
Yes.
Okay, hello everyone at the podcast. My name is Melody Garvin. I am the sister of four of the babies that got burnt up in the house fire, except the youngest boy. I am the oldest sister of Deontay Davis Jr., which is my brother. Those were his four children, the twins, Heaven and Nevaeh Dunnigan. Deontay Thomas Davis Jr. was my 9-year-old nephew. And my youngest niece, which her birthday is right now, November the 5th. Today is her birthday. She just would have been turning 2 years old. I tie into this because we've been having problems out of Sabrina Dunnigan for over 10 years. And this is not the first fire that she has been tied to. She tried to lie a year ago about the fire that you guys been previously talking about. Tried to say my brother had something to do with that, which was nothing to do with my brother, and it got ruled out. It was her. I feel like she just accomplished her goal now because she's not mourning or grieving over those babies at all. Our family is torn apart. That's how I'm related to this situation.
Well, look, I have a ton of questions, so I hope you got a little bit of time.
I got a lot of time. I'm in Toledo, Ohio. I don't reside in East St. Louis anymore. I moved away.
And I also need to clarify, because I don't know exactly what the party rules are in the state that you're in, but you do understand that we are live on YouTube and that we are being recorded on my live stream for everybody to listen to, right?
That's great. I'm ready.
So I have your consent to record, yes?
You sure do. Melody Garvin, yes, you do.
All right, good deal. So, and I just got to get that legal bull crap out the way, because I've had people try me before, but nonetheless.
I know. I'm ready. I'm ready, because I've been furious over this. I saw your first podcast, and I hated I couldn't join in because it was mixed signals. They were saying that the guy who was showing up was
okay,
Beyonce.
I got you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was my brother.
So here's where I want to start, because the story is quite confusing. So Melody's current boyfriend, is that your family member that you're saying?
Yes, my brother. It's my brother's children.
So the boyfriend that she allegedly went at 3 o'clock in the morning to pick up from work?
That was not nobody dealing with us. No, my brother just shared kids with her. He was not dating her at this time.
Oh, wait. You gotta say that for me one more time, because I got confused.
They were not together. Neither one of the guys. You have not even. My brother's face hasn't even been shown on TV. The father of the kids. That was not his kid. That was not my brother on TV.
So he's the father of 4 of 5.
My brother's the father of 4. The youngest son is not ours.
Who was the youngest son?
The other baby daddy. I don't know his name.
And that's not the boyfriend? And that's not the boyfriend?
No, that's not the boyfriend either. The boyfriend they call / fiance, which disappeared when everything happened. He has no kids with her.
Wait. First of all, whoa.
Yeah, he disappeared.
Okay, so 4 to 5 belong to your brother.
My brother, yes.
The youngest one, who's 2 years old, I just remember certain details. 2 years old, that means less than 24 months. She had just gave birth, and she's already with a new man. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yes, I am. Because the youngest daughter, that's ours, too. Because she had a baby with somebody else and then went back and had a baby with my brother. So the 4-year-old little boy that's next to my oldest nephew, Deontay Davis, which is my brother's name, that's not our baby. That's not biologically my brother's son.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
Yes.
here's also what I need to know. Here's what I need to know. Illicit Deeds is one of my buddies in the chat and my friend, and also a blogger. And she had actually told me some information about this story and said, Jay, did you know that her boyfriend actually set fire to her house before? And I said, are you kidding me? Like, really? Because I looked it up and I wasn't able to find it. But now the information is starting to come out there. Can you please give us details about this fire, who did it, and why they did it?
Okay, now the fire that you guys talking about, y'all got me on that because I do not live there, so I do not know. But from my understanding, when I got down there to visit, when I went to my niece's and nephew's funeral back in August, from hearsay, that I was told that she started the fire. She was mad or beefing or something with my brother, and she took his phone from him. That's what she gave to the police, said that she knew it was him that burnt the house down that time because he dropped his phone. Long story short, he never dropped his phone. She had it the whole time and tried to set that up and burnt. And that was his house that she burnt down, that he was given to her. But of course, she can't have my brother. So
wait. So why were they saying that the boyfriend burned the house down?
Because that's what she said. Just like her daddy was right behind her, saying that he saw my brother leave the scene of the fire, because she did it twice. The second time, the house actually did burn down.
Wait, hold on. When you give me this information, we got to take some pauses. Like, we got to breathe. We got to breathe.
We need to breathe. Yeah,
Lord have mercy. Are you kidding me? Because this actually, I'm going to tell you why. Let me tell you why, Melody. This makes perfect sense, because in my head, I said, in the video I just played, you probably didn't hear it, but I actually played a snippet of what I said in my previous live, the one that you watched. And I said, what would she have to gain by killing everybody in that house? And I said she had everything to gain, because she would have been able to start over with 0 kids, still have time in her womb, got a new boyfriend. She also would have been able to have my brother where she wanted him at. She wanted him back all the time. She's mad. Hold on. She would have had her new boyfriend, and she would have had about $30,000 in GoFundMe money, and she wouldn't have had to pay for any of the funeral expenses. That sounds, for a person who lives
that's exactly what she ran away with. The kids did not have headstones until my brother blasted her on Facebook about a month ago. So
for a person that lives in poverty, if you think about it, that actually seems in some sick people's head like a pretty big come up, right or wrong?
Right, and that's exactly what she is. She's evil. She's evil. She's never been good to those kids. Mind you, a CSB case was open at the time of them passing.
Oh,
I'm just now finding all of this out when I went down for the funeral.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
She used to leave the kids on the porch, drive away. She didn't care about those kids.
Hold on. I need to recap and God, I ain't even talked about the current fire. I know. I looked at it last time when the kids first passed. I just couldn't get in on your live. I didn't know how. I am fuming upset right now. I am so mad right now because everything you just said actually made sense. So think about this. I believe that arsonists are creatures of habit, because this was arson. I don't believe this was no electrical fire.
It was arson. I know it was arson.
And another reason I believe it's not is because those words by her father were carefully crafted when you said there were no smoke detectors.
He was around on the first fire, the other fire.
And do me a favor, do me a favor, because we're talking live and my mic is not real great about separating our voices. So like, if you'll give me a moment, I'll definitely try to make sure and give you some moments to rebuttal in there if you can. Okay.
Okay. It seemed like it was a little off.
I got you. We'll try to work with it. Now, I appreciate you being patient. I appreciate you even taking time to come on here. But let me say this: the fact that man knows nothing about what firemen do and arsonists and stuff like that, and the fact that he was able to come in and say electrical fire, that's somebody who has went and carefully picked that as an answer to the reason why this apartment burned down. And I'm thinking no regular person would say that. Most people would just say, I don't know how the fire started. I don't know. Okay, so let's go back to the first home fire. And I couldn't find that video on YouTube, but I did see somebody had recorded off of their TV. It was so grainy, I didn't even want to show it. But I saw the house, and it was like it looked like a
White House.
It was a first floor white house, and it was like torched. So the story that initially came out, from what I understood, was that the boyfriend tried to burn down the house. And initially I was thinking, okay, maybe this is just a mad boyfriend. But if you can, please reiterate to me that you said not only did the mom do it, but she tried to do it twice. And what evidence you believe pointed to her. Tell me that again.
Okay, and I might correct you again because it seems so unreal, but that was not twice when I told you about when it burnt all the way up. That was not the first time. That was the second time. The first time it was just a little burn of trying to burn a basket on the front porch. That was passed away. Okay. After that, then she went to the whole house getting burnt up, and her daddy was living in the back. It was a second house in the back. My brother owned all of that. I don't have facts, but I do have from hearsay from being down there previously when we buried the kids in August from a lot of people that she did that because she couldn't go out with my brother. She was mad my brother had someone at that house, which that was the house my brother gave her to live in for her and the kids. She burnt it down herself. And her father had something to do with it too. Like always, I heard he ran up in the house this time when they died and said, "Where's his cut at?" Why would the whole family sit up there and make a liar like their grandparents was in the house when nobody was there? For money. All for money. I don't know. I don't have facts, like I said, because I don't live there. I'm in Toledo, Ohio. But the second fire that we're talking about that made the news, it was ruled out. And I only knew it was ruled out because when I watched it on the news, it said it was ruled out. Like I said, I don't live there. But my brother was cleared for all of that, like he was cleared for this fire as well. This is the third time, and 30 times is the charm. She have ruined our lives. We are so devastated over this. So devastated. And she was living her best life right after this.
Let me ask you this, because the police are trying to say that they're not trying to release this information. Let me ask you.
I would love for the police to call me.
In your best estimation, what do you think with the most recent house? What do you think was the cause of the reason that fire started?
What do I think? My thinking is far beyond of now. Because before I got a chance to think, everybody said a candle was burning. No utilities were on there. Then I also heard that the water was dripping from the air conditioner and touched the socket. But her family members that were contacting me on Facebook Messenger to tell me these lies before I even made it to the city. What do I think happened? I have no idea. My brother wasn't messing with her. I just always know she was never a good mother at all. I would say that to anybody. She did not want those kids. She used those kids against us over and over. My mother and my brother. That's why they were not in her care. She could have easily let my mother and them watch those kids on her birthday instead of what she did. Now look what we have. And everybody want to give her sympathy. Fuck sympathy. Those babies are gone.
Hold on. Oh, wow. So you mean to tell me that this woman used these children to collect the benefits off of those children, what we call in the AFC hashtag babies for benefits? You mean to tell me that a human being would use children?
Yes, she's not a human being. Anything. She used anything to get to my brother. She could not have my brother or whatever she wanted. She used those kids against them all the time. The kids could have been and had the greatest of life. My brother been fighting and wanting them kids for years. All she ever did is collected child support from them and really wasn't spending it on them. How could you not have your own place with enough rooms and you're getting all my brother's money, do child support, sweetheart? Not to mention after they died, she still was getting child support.
Whoa, hold on. Wait. Hold on.
And I can't wait for everybody to hear this. I'm ready for everybody to hear this. They need to know the truth about Sabrina Dunnigan. She's pure evil. She should not be able to make babies anymore.
You yourself have almost brought about 300 or 400 extra people here. They are listening. Oh my God. Hold on. Let me ask you this again. Let me ask you this, because you're bringing up things that I am curious about now. Your brother was paying child support, so I'm assuming you got a pretty good relationship with your brother. He talks to you. Y'all love each other.
Of course. That's my younger brother. I'm 44 and he's 31.
Give me an idea about, look, I could tell you, I've been on child support. I'm on child support for 4 more years. Looking forward to getting off of that shit. But let me ask you this. How much was he paying in child support, if you have an estimate? And also, was that house that she was living in, was that Section 8 housing? Because it looked like it was.
I don't know if it was Section 8 housing. And yes, me and my brother do talk, but we have a huge age gap. He's 31, I'm 44. With that being said, he's a guy, I'm a girl. I don't hear all his, information. So with that, you're asking me, I have no idea on the money situation, how much child support. All I know is that my brother always had money taken out of his check all the way up until after the kids were born. I mean, after the kids had died. She was getting child support, got a couple of more checks that my brother asked about, and she wouldn't even share that money with him. So with that being said, me and my brother don't talk like deeply on certain, because like I said, we have a huge gap in our age difference. But I mean, I'm real close with my brother, therefore. But like I said, I don't live there. I'm in Toledo, Ohio. They're in East St. Louis, Illinois. So
next question. Did Melanie have or not Melanie, I'm sorry.
Not me.
The mother. I forget her name, but let me see if I can. Her
Sabrina.
name was Sabrina. Sorry, I'm just so excited talking about this. Did Sabrina have a job? What does she do for a living?
Thank you for bringing that up. She's 34 years old, and you can't find her nowhere getting Social Security from a job because she never worked a day in her life. She never worked. I will repeat that. She has never worked a day in her life. And I guarantee you on my life, no one can pull up an ex-employer for her. She's never worked. She lived off my brother's money. She lived off my brother's money from child support.
And I figured that. So she was using
Never
those
worked
children.
a day in her entire 34 years of living.
So she been using
hopefully in jail.
She was literally using those children and living off of that money off of her kids because the biological father was doing the responsible thing and she was doing nothing and just kicking back and living off of it. And the reason why I say that is because I personally don't think that a person, because I saw that other house and look, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I think that when people have children, they should go into it with a plan and they should go into it with stability. I'm the person that is trying to live by what I preach, okay? So when me and my daughter's mom brought my daughter into this world, we both had separate places that we lived, but I at least had a foundation for my daughter and we all took care of her. And you're talking about one kid, and that was hard for between me, my daughter's mom, her mom, my dad, cousins, uncles. It was hard for us to raise one kid, let alone 5. And I'm just thinking like,
serious.
I'm thinking like, think of the bills that you'd have to pay between shoes and clothes and food. So I'm assuming that she probably got food stamps. And if you got food stamps, then I'm assuming that you probably applied for Section 8, probably around your first or second kid. It just seems like that makes sense, especially if you're already...
I need to cut you off.
Especially if you're already accustomed to not working, like you said. You said she didn't work.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I wanted to cut you off because you said maybe she signed up for Section 8. Well, I do know for a fact she could never receive anything that's through housing government-wise because she's a felon. She's never been on Section 8. She can't get on Section 8 or housing. I do know that.
Felons?
Don't ask me what she's a felon in because I don't know. But she cannot get housing. You cannot get housing if you're a felon.
So you don't know what she caught a felony for?
No, I do not know, but I know she can't get housing through the government. I do know that much.
Okay. Fair enough. Oh my goodness, you have been a jewel, and I gotta thank you so much. And because I want you to understand, this ain't about me, quote unquote, spilling the tea or no silly crap like that. What I'm trying to do is our podcast has been very powerful and instrumental at actually getting people justice in real time, especially like the story in Stockton, California about the little girl, Billy Simone Williams. And we were actually able to get Takesha Williams arrested based on what we do here on our show. So we actually believe in making an impact in real life. And what I'm hoping here is to get justice for those children. I'm sure that's what you want as well.
Of course I do. I'm devastated. I'm heartbroken that I'm back in Toledo and I can't be there for my mom and my brother. I don't know what, it's just hurtful. I don't have words to describe. I don't want to look too bad on TV or whatever, but it's undescribable feeling in my heart. It's only me and my brother. Those were my only nieces and nephews. My brother got down to no kids. It's hurtful to lose one, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and say 5. My brother took care of the other little boy too. I mean, it's just terrible. Our family has not regained from this, but her family sure has, all the way down to her mother and her father. They all have. They all went to Orlando, Florida. I mean, they've been doing great things since our kids are gone.
Right. Wow. Okay, so here's another question. Here's another question. She's currently on the current charges because those charges are probably going to go up. They're setting her bond at $75,000. There's a warrant out for her arrest. They have not caught her yet. What do you know about that?
Oh, they haven't. See, now I don't know nothing about that because my understanding, someone messaged me on Messenger earlier and said that she had got picked up. So I don't know. I thought she was picked up.
Let me make sure. I'm going to go back in my article right now because this was an update as of hours ago, like 4 or 5 hours ago.
Me too. That's when I got the word 4 or 5 hours ago in my time in Ohio.
Let me see if I can find, because there was a place that actually said her bond. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I think that too.
I
see it.
I see it.
News Democrat.
I see it. It says online court records, and this is on STLtoday.com. Online court records indicate that there are pending grand jury actions in this case, and a judge set bail at $75,000. She is not in custody yet, according to this article.
Wow, you just shocked me with that one.
But that could have changed. I mean, 9 hours is a lot of time.
If it would have changed, my family would have contacted me. I thought she was arrested. Last I've heard, she was arrested. So, and that was around 9 or 10, and it's 12:35 here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, is there anything else that you want to contribute to this? You have been amazing with what we kind of know so far. Is there anything else that you want to kind of contribute?
Well, sorry, I couldn't give much. That's because I don't live there. Because I would have been willing. If I would have known, I would have been willing to tell very much. So I'm just glad that I was able to get on here and voice my opinion with you guys. But just keep us in prayer. Anybody that's listening, just keep us in deep, deep prayer, please, because this is a real hard time for my mother and my brother down there. And it's just them two against the world. You know, everybody wants to take Sabrina Dunnigan's her side, but nobody knows the real truth of what these babies went to. And I'm not sitting in peace with the kids being gone and she's arrested or haven't been arrested because we still don't have those babies. So just keep us in prayer and keep us prayed up. And I love you, my nieces and nephew. TT gonna always stand there for you guys. And that's all I have to say.
Man, and I appreciate you so much. And look, this is a great way to get in touch with me. As you see, when you contact my moderators, they will let me know. They flooded the chat. I saw it. I was like, let me get on here real quick.
I see my little face in the TV now.
Well, I tried to shrink it down a little bit because I was making it to where I just showed your name, but the way you had the camera at first, it made it to where you couldn't really see it. So
I know, because I had it to my ear like a phone. Yeah, that's me with the red hair. That's my brother. That's my brother at the bottom corner on the right.
Oh, I got it like really, really tiny on the screen. So they might
when
not
you
even
pulling
be
up the female with the red mohawk, that's me. I'm Melody, and I'm holding my brother in the white suit. That's my brother, his kids.
Okay. I got you. Let me see if I can go back.
He had a white suit with pink in it, and then we were at the burial, and it was a girl hugging the guy with the red mohawk.
Oh, right there,
That's me. I'm the girl with the red mohawk. I got a chance to go down there, and let me tell you on that before I get off of here, I didn't even have a way to get back down there for the funeral, and someone on Facebook had got in my DM and paid me a plane ticket 72 hours before the funeral to get back down there to be at my niece's and nephew funeral, and I thought that was very sweet too.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually, look, and that's why, look, here's my whole thing. I'm not against people using GoFundMe when they need it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
they did not need this. Oh, God.
But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that we're responsible with asking for crowdfunding, because there's going to be a time when we need it and can't get it because we got a bunch of people out there doing a bunch of fraudulent bull crap, and they're going to ruin it for everybody.
Right.
So that's it. So whenever we want to put up a GoFundMe, I want people to be able to get that funding, but I want to make sure that we don't do things in you know, leading up to a point to where people feel like, yeah, I don't trust these campaigns. These people always doing this and that, and I don't want to donate anymore. So I don't want us to continue to keep taking advantage of people's kindness. So we can hopefully keep that thing open when we need it, and we can use it and hopefully get some funding. Well, look, Melody, I appreciate your time so much. Do you want to give any last words?
No more last words. I don't have any last words, but just everybody keep us lifted up in prayer. I didn't know she wasn't arrested yet, so I'm about to get on the horn and find out what's going on with that. But just keep us prayed up and Keep our babies in your memory. I'm devastated. I can't believe I lasted this long talking to you guys without busting out crying. Because all I do is see my babies' faces all over. I'm their only auntie on their daddy's side. Their only auntie. And now my babies are all gone.
Well, straight up, look, you got prayers in the chat. You got prayers coming from me. I appreciate you so much. If you need something, this is a simple way to reach out to me. You just hit me up if you need anything, okay?
All righty. Thank you and have a blessed week.
Have a blessed night. Peace.
Bye.
All right. Wow. Wow. My mind is completely blown, guys. That confirmed a lot of things, and I think we learned a lot. A whole lot. Guys, can we get 600 thumbs up? We got 1,000 people here. Can we get 600 thumbs up? That only means 100 more people need to click that thumbs up. So nobody's been clicking it. You guys came in, but we still got more to talk about. We are not done yet. Okay, let's get back to our news videos. Here we go.
Their message for the community.
It wasn't one kid. It wasn't even two. It was all of them. She lost all her children.
Linda Barton crying for her daughter Sabrina Dunnigan, whose only children are now gone after flames engulfed her East St. Louis home with her 5 children inside.
No matter what went on in her life, she was always with her kids. Good, bad, thick, thin, it didn't matter.
Today, Sabrina, seen here next to Barton, was surrounded by family outside of a memorial of balloons and stuffed animals created in her children's honor.
Be strong for her, pray for her. Right now she needs it. Everybody gone. She lost her kids. Right now
And this is the alleged boyfriend. They're saying this is the mother's fiance. Of course, y'all should know what fiance means. That means you have a ring, and that means you have a date. A ring, a date, a ring, a date. If you don't have that, you don't have a fiance. Why they continue to keep calling these worthless thugs fiancés is beyond me. This is mom's boyfriend.
everybody gone. She lost her kids. Right now she needs strength. That's all we can give her right now.
Travis Askew is Sabrina's fiance.
I love those kids like they were my own. I provided for them. I did everything for them.
9-year-old Deontay, 8-year-old twins Nevaeh and Heaven, 4-year-old Jabari, and 2-year-old Loy-el, all remembered for being bright young kids who smiled hard, loved food, and would do anything for their mom.
Jabari, I know right now he's in heaven asking God what's in the refrigerator.
You got any pizza? Got any hot dog?
And
What's that song he used to sing?
we love those kids, and we're gonna miss them.
At this time, East St. Louis fire officials have not released any information on what caused the fire, and the family tells me they are not commenting on the investigation. Loved ones tell me it's been frustrating to hear people criticize Sabrina for not being home when the fire started. Barton tells me their children were not unattended because their other grandparents were also in the building at the time.
And if you guys know where she is, if y'all are hiding her out there in that area, you could be harboring a fugitive, and you could also go to jail for that and face charges for harboring somebody who should be in police custody. She is wanted for arrest right now. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
We don't care what people say. We don't care what people think, and we don't care how people feel. It's about what we feel right here within ourselves that matters to us.
And that's the problem. That is just disgusting that people talk like that.
Our family haven't taken a hit like this ever. We devastated.
A family bearing an unthinkable heartbreak after 5 young children die in an East St. Louis apartment fire. Thanks for staying up late with us. I'm Casey Nolan.
And I'm Michelle Lee. Tonight, the community came together to show support for the grief-stricken mom who lost her 5 children. Robert Townsend has the story.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's unimaginable heartbreak, shock, and sadness for Sheila Dunnigan and her family. They're mourning 5 young loved ones who died in an apartment fire on their mom's birthday.
Our family haven't taken a hit like this ever. We devastated. We're broken.
Relatives identified the children as 20-month-old Loy-el, 4-year-old Jabari, 8-year-old twins Nevaeh and Heaven, and 9-year-old Dante. They say their mom is 34-year-old Sabrina Dunnigan.
She loved those kids. She loved those kids.
No, she did not love those kids.
Investigators say around 3 a.m. Friday, flames broke out inside this second-floor apartment on North 29th near State Street in East St. Louis. They say the children's mother was not home at the time because she left to pick up another adult from work. Firefighters say when the mom...
Her alleged fiance, that's who she went to go get at 3 o'clock in the morning. What do y'all think this so-called boyfriend does for a living at 3 o'clock in the morning? Y'all think that he was working some type of regular 9-to-5 or 5-to-9 job or some type of graveyard shift job? No, I don't think so. Think that man gets paychecks? No, I don't think so. Think that man files taxes? Probably not, but let's keep going.
Returned, she ran back inside the burning unit several times to try to rescue her children, but she could not reach her 3 girls and 2 boys in time. The family lived here for about a year.
No one knows facts about anything.
I just want everyone to pray for my niece because this is a tragedy.
A year and a half ago, 5 on Your Side interviewed Sabrina Dunnigan after she told investigators that her ex...
Right here. Oh my goodness. This is it. This is it. That's the house that got burnt up. I did not see a clear video of this. That house is torched. Look at that.
Interviewed Sabrina Dunnigan after she told investigators that her ex-boyfriend at the time intentionally set her home on fire. A family member says that case was settled.
Look at that. She blamed it on the boyfriend, but on the other side, on the baby dad's side of the family, they're saying that Sabrina was the one that was responsible for this. It's kind of ironic. You got 2 of the same people involved in 2 different houses, 2 different fires. One, you're saying your boyfriend set the house on fire. And then the second one, you're saying it was an electrical fire, huh? That is so ironic and interesting.
A family member says that case was settled.
Thank God. No one was hurt then.
Hours after the fire, dozens of friends, neighbors, and community leaders gathered here at the scene for a prayer vigil. It was their way to comfort this hurting family.
In spite of whatever occurred, Father God, you're still God.
Yes.
You are the one in which we live, move, and we have our being.
Lots of tears, hugs, and a growing memorial for 5 little ones who lost their lives. Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
Metro East mourning the loss of 5 children who lost their lives tragically 2 weeks ago. Today, they were laid to rest. News 11's Ty Hawkins spoke to church leaders who say the healing has just started.
5 children under the age of 10 sadly lost their lives in a house fire earlier this month. Today, the Metro East laid them to rest.
Our focus is on the family, and we're trying to find opportunities to assist them in getting through the tragedy.
Family and members of the Metro East community bid farewell at Greater St. Mark Church of God in Christ to celebrate the lives of 9-year-old Deontay, 4-year-old Jabari, twin 8-year-old girls Heaven and Nevaeh, and 2-year-old Loy-el.
They're a young family, young children, and they had a lot to live for.
Beautiful custom caskets were made for each child, the exterior representing them individually.
And these children were wonderful children. If you look at the casket, each casket reflects their personal desires, the games they played with, the toys they liked, the colors they were interested in. That thing, so if you look at the casket, it's really a glimpse of their young lives.
The tragedy has impacted the community, who says it will come together to support the grieving family in their time of need.
Well, East St. Louis has always been one that will come together in a time of tragedy. And I'm not surprised. I'm just so thankful that even in a pandemic situation or season, that we yet still come together and support one another.
First on Fox, a vigil has continued for hours tonight in honor of 5 children who died in an overnight fire in their home.
Yeah, Fox News' Chris Hayes joins us now from East St. Louis with more on this emotional gathering. Chris.
Shirley, Sandy, not only emotional but also powerful, with so many people standing for 2.5 hours behind me. You can still see the candles burning in memory of the 5 siblings who died in that apartment fire. The community filled the area in front of the home starting right before sundown. Family, friends, even strangers gathered to light candles and pray.
Amen.
Amen. We learned it's Mom's birthday today. Then the aunt of the children stepped forward.
She's broken. It's hard for us to just try to say the right things to her. What can we say? She took care of her kids. She loved those kids.
Here's a picture of 3 of those children provided by their grandfather. That's Deontay on the left with his twin sisters, Heaven and Nevaeh, next to him. 4-year-old Jabari and 2-year-old Loy-el also died in the fire. Bommarito Automotive Group Skyfox captured the fire when it broke out after 3 a.m. Friday near 29th and State Street. First responders on the scene reported the children were left home alone while a relative left to pick up another adult from work. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Here's the grandfather of the children, followed by a neighbor who watched the tragedy unfold.
I just can't believe it, man. I don't know. But all I know is God got his day for everybody to come home, and I guess he took them all together.
It broke my heart. It broke my heart so bad. That's gonna be the only image in my head from now on.
I want to rewind this because I want y'all to take a look. This is the grandfather that allegedly jumped out of a 2nd floor window to save himself, and his wife did the same thing. I want y'all to look at him and tell me, did this look like he jumped out of a 2nd story window?
Remains under investigation. Here's the grandfather of the children, followed by a neighbor who watched the tragedy unfold.
I just can't believe it, man. I don't know. But all I know is God got his day for everybody to come home, and I guess he took them all together.
It broke my heart. It broke my heart so bad. That's gonna be the only image in my head from now on. Them kids being brought up out of there. She was a good person. She was a good mother, whatever. I just want to get.
And you know what? And they use that term too loosely. I'm sorry for those who might not understand. And if y'all are watching, please click that thumbs up. Do us a favor and please share this. And if you do, that's all you got to do to click that thumbs up. They keep saying, well, she was a good mother. She was a good mother. She was a good mother. Somebody please tell me, what is the definition of a good mother, first of all? And what made her a good mother? Let's see. She didn't work according to the family members. She only collected child support, and that's what she was living off of, according to the family members. Her house got somehow magically burnt up in the first house, and then she moved to a second house, and that house got burnt up too, apparently by magic. I guess the man up above must have did it. It must have just happened, divine intervention or something. I don't know. Had all of these 8 people. It was 5, 6, 8 people living in a 1-bedroom apartment. What exactly made her a good mother? What is a good mother? Can anybody first tell me what a good mother is, all of the qualifications of a good mother, and then tell me, does she fit this mold? It seems like just if you're a mother, you're good no matter what. That means you're infallible, and infallibility, if that's a real word, is a bad thing. Being infallible is a horrible thing. Let's go.
My condolences to all of them, because I mean, I understand that's a hurtful feeling to lose all of your children at one time. It hurts. I'm literally feeling her pain for her.
Though the vigil ended about 30 minutes ago, there are still about a half dozen people around me by their cars, supporting each other. Often I saw people hugging in the middle of the street, sometimes people who didn't even know each other. Live in East St. Louis, Chris Hayes, Fox 2 News.
And I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't want y'all to be fooled, and I want you to remember that they claim that the grandmother and grandfather lived in a separate part of a one-bedroom apartment. So what was that, the kitchen? Because there was only one bedroom. Was it the front room? Was it the bathroom? And if that was the case, if a fire started, which window did you jump out of a one-bedroom, two-story apartment that you completely omitted getting any of the kids out of there with you? You couldn't have grabbed the 2-year-old and jumped out the window? No, that's not possible. All of these children were less than 9 years old. Less than 9 years old. And if you go back and look at Grandpa, let me go back and show you this again. He looks like he's at least strong enough in the face. This man looks like he's at least strong enough to pick up a child and throw the child out the window along with himself. But just be like, screw it, fire's burning. Look, I'm going to tell y'all, here's what I believe. I think he's a stone cold liar. I don't think they were there. I don't think the grandparents were there. I think they're trying to cover for her. I think that they are lying to try to get their daughter off because they didn't care about these kids, because this woman had kids by a man that didn't really want to stay with her, and they didn't like him, didn't know him, and all they want to do was live off of that man, and he didn't want to continue to keep them living off of him. Then she had a baby by another guy that didn't want to be around her, and then she turned around and got a boyfriend who ain't nothing, and he don't do nothing for a living. They are all users. That's what it sounds like to me. And I'm going to tell you guys, the police and the fire department are this close to releasing the real story about what happened. And I think that they're going to say that this was an arson, not an electrical fire. They are good enough at what they do. They're going to release the true and factual information. They will find this mother. They are going to arrest this mother, charge this mother, sentence this mother, and they need to throw more charges on top of that because she abandoned her children at 3 o'clock in the morning to go pick up her boyfriend from work. Well, how did your boyfriend get to work in the first place? And if your boyfriend has a job, why does he not have a car to get his own? I'm going to try to mind my words. To get his own black butt to and from work. If a mother, and I want y'all to understand where I'm coming from. If a mother has this many children, this mother should be helping no one. You know, like I said earlier in the video, you know how they say that people want to give the shirt off their back? No, ma'am. No. Not now. Not ever. Please don't. Women who are mothers and single mothers should be the last people ever to be helping anybody. Why do I say that? Because people ought to be helping them. You ought to be getting help. Not only should you be helping yourself, that's first and foremost, because she definitely wasn't, in my opinion. Not only should you be helping yourself, but you should be getting help, not giving out help, because the more you give out help, the more you neglect your children. And here at the AFC, we believe in advocating for children first. The children should have been your first priority. If your boyfriend didn't have no ride to get home from work, then you should have left his black ass right where he was at, and that son of a gun could have walked home from whatever job he had. You had 5 kids that needed you there all the time, all day, every day. That's why you brought them into this world. Can't be there all day, every day? Why bring them into this world then? See how that is when you have to hold people accountable for the choices and decisions they make, and then they want to cry, woe is me? Then maybe we need to start raising our children to be responsible for their actions and not let them believe that everybody that gives birth is infallible to criticism. We could at least start there. Start with some damn accountability. All right. Thank y'all for listening. As soon as that story comes out, we'll do another update. Thank y'all for listening to the story with an open mind and an open heart. All right. We got more to talk about. Just like Clubber Lang said in Rocky 3, I got a lot of mo for you. I got a lot of mo. Are y'all ready for my next story? Because this one is just as bad. How many of y'all remember the little boy, the little 3-year-old boy by the name of Braylen Noble? Do y'all remember Braylen Noble? How many of you guys are actually here to listen to the Braylen Noble story? We got about 900 people here. If y'all would, do me a favor and click that thumbs up. We should easily be over 700 thumbs up by now. Where are we at? Where are we at with the thumbs up? We're at 620. Let's see if we can get to 700. If we can, okay? So if y'all could, we only need 80 people. So there's at least 200 and some people that haven't clicked that thumbs up. Let me say thank you to, let me make sure I can say your name. Shakivia, if you're listening, I got your Cash App. Thank you for your support. To Little Bit in the chat, Little Bit, thank you for your Cash App. To Kevin, last name with a P. Kevin P, thank you for your Cash App. Jimmy D, thank you for yours. Brandy in the chat, thank you for yours. To Lynn Eversley, thank you for your PayPal. Lynn Eversley 2 times, thank you for your PayPal. Tanea, thank you for your Cash App. And Last Chance, thank you for your PayPal. Ready to get it in? Let's talk about baby Braylen. Let me get these other videos off of here real quick. And I actually edited an old video that I did on this one as well. So you guys might find this a little bit interesting. So we're going to do, that's the, oh, okay. I see what I did. I get myself confused with these videos. So we're going to start with this one. And then we'll do the 911 call. So we'll keep these in order. Matter of fact, if y'all are familiar with this story, some of y'all might be seeing this mother's face on the screen for the very first time. Are y'all ready to talk about this? Let's go ahead and get started. And thank you, Alyssa Deeds. I just got your message, so thank you very much. Like we always share information. So y'all check out Illicit Deeds. Check out Leave It to Bieber. Check out Make This Go Viral. Check out my brother Tommy Sotomayor. So shout out to him. Check out Relationship Rehab. Check out Joshua Deemers. Who else do we have that makes videos? Why do I feel like I'm missing somebody? There's a bunch of true crime story people as well. Thank you to the people on Facebook who shared. If you got a YouTube channel, make sure and shout your, oh, and Illicit Deeds right there. Make sure you check these guys out. Very, very good at what they do. Toledo, Ohio. Is this the right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Toledo, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, how about another story out of Toledo, Ohio? But this is actually a story we've already talked about. So we're going to be reiterating some points that we've already made. There's some new information here. So this is an official update. A lot of people have been waiting on this story. We are here for it. If you guys would do me a favor and click that thumbs up and please share this because I want more people to know about it. And also, I actually edited a video from my previous live stream when I did this at the time. I think this was about a year ago. And it took me a little bit of extra time, but I think it's worth it so you guys can see that I'm going to say the same things that I said then that I'm about to say right now. Toledo, Ohio, the mother and grandma of a Toledo toddler by the name of Braylen Noble, who is right there on the left-hand side of my screen. Beautiful baby boy. Braylen Noble, 3 years old. They have been indicted in the investigation of this 3-year-old boy's death. The biological mother, as you guys can see from that small photo there, let me back it up a little bit so you can get a better photo of her. That is Dejanay Cox. Her name is spelled very unique because that's just what our people do. D-A-J-N-A-E, Cox, C-O-X. That's Braylen's mother. And Bobby Johnson is the grandmother's name, but I don't have a picture of her, so we'll just roll with it. They face felony charges of obstructing justice, and Cox is additionally charged with felony child endangerment. On Monday, their arraignment was scheduled for November the 16th at 1:30 p.m. Neither has been arrested at this point. Neither of them have been arrested yet. Toledo police held a brief news conference on Friday morning, and I'm getting my news from WTOL, so thank you, WTOL. Toledo police held a brief news conference Friday morning regarding this case, and Lieutenant Dan Gherkin said certain evidence, why this thing is jumping around like that, certain evidence was sent away for outside review, including a 911 call which contributed to charges being filed more than a year after the child's body was found. If y'all want to hear that 911 call, we've actually had people do video breakdowns of this 911 call because people actually thought they heard in the background that the mother said, "I did it, I did it." Okay? So they sent that out, and more charges will be filed. We also met with the prosecutor's office numerous times, and they thoroughly reviewed our case, Gherkin said. It took quite a bit of time, and I appreciate to make sure that we're doing what's right and taking the case where the evidence leads us. Gherkin also addressed why more serious charges have not been filed yet. So here's that. People who are clamoring for stiffer charges, like me, this is what the evidence has led us to. Part of the issue is that the cause of death is still undetermined from the coroner's office. That part is still under evidence that led us to the charges, and we can easily wait for that. I just want to make sure that they get that part right so we can get the charges right. On September 9th of 2020, the Toledo Police Department launched an investigation into the death of Braylen Noble after the 3-year-old boy's body was found in his apartment complex swimming pool. That information alone is an entire story by itself. So I'm not sure if they're going to bring this up, but I'll tell you guys. The mother and grandmother actually gave an account as to what happened. And where the boy ended up dead and what they said happened looked like two different things. And to be honest, it actually looked like they were flat out lying about what happened to this boy. Okay? Now, the child, who is a nonverbal and has autism, was reported missing from the 3400 block of Gibraltar Heights Drive at Hunter's Ridge Apartments. His disappearance triggered a massive search by private search groups, law enforcement, and the FBI, because they really were trying to help out with this. So shout out to them. Initial details on the autopsy of Braylen by the Lucas County Coroner's Office found no obvious signs of trauma on his body and said the drowning had not yet been ruled out as his cause of death. At the time, Cox told the news that Braylen was last seen in his bedroom, and she was in the back. She was on the back balcony, and her mother, Braylen's grandmother, Bobby, was in the living room. There was a window open, so the assumption was that he must have fallen out the window because the screen was pushed in, although neither woman saw him actually fall. Please bookmark that, because I want y'all to remember that when you listen to the 911 call compared to where the boy ended up dead. Both women are now charged in the investigation into his death. Cox and Johnson are innocent until proven guilty. They are not in custody currently. But neighbors say that they hope justice is served for Braylen, and people don't forget. Residents at the Hunter's Ridge Apartments say that it's troubling, but they're happy that they are finally getting answers. Let me skip some of this. Noble was reported missing and found dead 5 days later in the community pool. Neighbors say that the story from the mother never made sense. And I want you guys to know this. They actually searched the pool and did not find him, and ended up finding him 5 days from the 911 call. So that's very, very suspicious. I was always suspicious that it had something to do with the parent or the mother and the grandmother. I knew it was a lie, according to one of the neighbors. Because even if the kid fell out the window, the kid would have been on the floor and he wouldn't have been moving. Right. Let me go ahead and skip some of this. I'm going to give you guys the fair usage. I want you guys to just listen to my old video and then we'll go from there. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And again, as a reminder, make sure you guys please click that thumbs up. We want one thumb up for everybody who's watching if we can get there, okay? Here we go. Let's get it. Now, as a disclaimer, this is my old video. So I want y'all to listen to some of my original commentary. Let me see, is this the right one? Let's move this one up. And let's start with that one. Here we go. That dude said, I caught her in the woods with her brother by themselves.
Bro, ain't no baby gonna fall out a window and get up and walk to the fucking front.
He said, ain't no baby gonna fall out the window like that, get up and walk off.
You already know what happened to that baby. Can we look in the pool?
Yes,
we looked
they
in the
did.
pool.
He said, can we look in the pool? He said, we looked in the pool. That's what he's saying. So apparently he was one of the search volunteers. He said they already checked the pool.
You already know what happened to that baby. Can we look in the pool?
Yes,
we looked
they
in the
did.
pool. What happened to that baby? Can we look in the pool?
Yes,
we looked
they
in the
did.
pool. What happened to that baby? Can we look in the pool?
Yes,
we looked
they
in the
did.
pool.
Y'all heard that, right? And I want to show you guys that this GoFundMe was set up by somebody named Braylen Noble. Before this kid even has a proper autopsy, why are they putting up GoFundMes? The mom had responsibility for this kid, and the mom, I believe, murdered this kid. In my opinion, based on what we've learned, the mother ain't shit. Grandma got on the phone on 911 and lied. Grandma ain't shit. I want y'all to hear that again. I called it out pretty early. I said the mom and grandma should be held accountable.
But we don't know where he at.
Here we go.
911, where's your emergency?
Yes, we have a missing 3-year-old.
Okay, what's the address?
Autistic nonverbal. 315 Gibraltar Heights. 3415, I'm sorry.
3415?
3415 Gibraltar
Is there an
Heights.
apartment number?
Yes, L11.
I'm sorry?
L11.
L11, your name?
Yes.
Your name?
My name is Bobby.
Bobby, is
B-I-E Johnson.
Bobby, is she white or Hispanic?
Black.
And you said nonverbal?
Yes.
How long has she been missing?
It's a he.
Him?
We've been looking for him for over a good 30 minutes.
Okay.
He fell out his window in these apartments.
You think he's hurt?
I'm hoping he's okay, but we don't know where he at. We walked the whole ground.
Okay. And what was he wearing, do you know?
What kind of his jacket? He found the window with his pump on.
What's his name?
Oh my God. Braylen.
B-A-Y-L-N or B-R-A-Y?
L-Y-L-I-N. B-R-A-Y-L.
B-A-N.
L-E-N. I'm sorry.
And what's his last name?
L-E-N. What's my last name? Noble. Noble. Oh, God.
Okay, what was he wearing?
I know the audio is kind of bad, but we actually had to turn the audio up because the audio in the original 911 call was like really, really bad. So I'm sorry about that.
He had on his pull-up. And was that the orange shirt? I don't even know what shirt he had on. What color was his shirt? T-shirt with the orange at the bottom? Or was it the gray one? He changed it out so much. I don't even remember what shirt he put on him.
Okay, what's your phone number?
419-917-1640.
Did you guys go back by the creek and look by the creek anywhere?
Yes, we went all back there by the pool area, the swing area, all of that. And on the back end on the other side.
And guys, just to let y'all know, I have a second call I'm going to play. I've got two of these, so I'm going to let y'all hear both of them, okay? That's why I'm not pausing. That's why I'm not saying nothing. Let's keep going. And y'all listen. Y'all let me know if y'all think that they're lying. Let's keep going.
Oh.
Okay, and he's nowhere.
Let me read this. They searched the pool Friday and didn't find him. One of the volunteers said he caught mom and her brother in the woods last night. The baby was found stuffed in the pool drain today. Mom was taken into custody but was not arrested. Oh my goodness. Oh, this gets deep, man. Let's keep going. Sheesh. Thank you, Alyssa Deeds. Thank you. Let's keep going.
In the house?
No, we looked in the closets and everything.
Okay, did you look under the bed?
Yes.
Okay. Did you look in like the hampers, underneath blankets?
Yeah, because we only have one bed in the apartment.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Okay, well,
the screen windows like wide open.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Okay, well, we get the police on their way there, okay? Okay, they're coming there. All right. Okay, do you have anything for them? Okay.
She said they only had one bed for 3 people living there. Are you, what? Are you kidding me? Man, let's keep going. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ.
All right.
Are you?
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Okay, well, we get the police on their way there, okay? Okay, they're coming there. All right. Okay, do you have anything for them? Okay.
She said they only had one bed for 3 people living there. Are you, what? Are you kidding me? Man, let's keep going. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ.
All right.
Oh, God.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, Lord. All right, now this is an update from the police. If y'all want to see this, I can play it. Matter of fact, I will save this one for last in case y'all don't want to see it. If you want to see the update from the police, let me know. I'll play it. If not, I'll skip it.
We begin with breaking news right now at 5 o'clock. The mother and grandmother of Braylen Noble have both been indicted on charges in his death.
The pair reported the 3-year-old missing from their home at the Hunters Ridge apartment complex last September. Police would find his body days later in the apartment swimming pool. WTOL's Michael Tater is live with what we're learning about those new charges tonight. Michael?
That's right, Dan, Melissa. People have been waiting for answers in this case for over a year. A Lucas County grand jury has indicted Dejanay Cox and Bobby Johnson for obstructing justice and endangering a child. Now, these charges stem from the investigation into the disappearance and death of 3-year-old Braylen Noble. That is the son of Cox and grandchild of Johnson. Now, both of those women reported Braylen missing on September 9th of last year. A massive search effort went underway, including volunteers and community members who combed the Hunters Ridge apartment complex here for days. Police would later find his body in the swimming pool 5 days later. An autopsy was inconclusive, but could not rule out drowning as the cause of death. At the time, Braylen's mother, Cox, told WTO 11 she saw Braylen in his bedroom and had believed he fell out an open window. Now both the mom and grandma are charged in this case, but it is important to note that neither woman is charged with his death. Court documents instead show they're accused of hindering the investigation and providing false information to the police. Now we're working to find out more details on this developing story that broke last year.
So they're being charged for lying and misleading and hiding information.
Out here at the Hunters Ridge apartment complex. Please stay tuned to WTO 11 on air and online as we work to find out more on this latest development. Live in South Toledo, Michael Tater, WTOL 11.
All right, Michael, thanks so much. And this is a breaking news story that will continue developing. Be sure to stick with us for more live on WTOL 11 News at 6. Plus, you can also look back at our past stories on the case right now at WTOL.com and our free news app.
We've been looking for him for over a good 30 minutes. Okay. He fell out his window in these apartments.
Breaking news in the case of 3-year-old Braylen Noble tonight. His mom and grandmother have now been charged in the investigation of his death.
Michael Tater has been on this story since it broke this afternoon. He joins us live from where this all happened at the Hunters Ridge Apartments. Michael, what are the charges?
Well, that's right, Dan. A grand jury indicted Dejanay Cox and Bobby Johnson, that's the mother and grandmother of Braylen Noble, for obstructing justice and endangering a child. Cox had claimed that Braylen had fell from their third-story window when she first reported him missing, but police later found Braylen dead right nearby at the community pool 5 days later, and neighbors tell me today they're just happy they're finally getting answers.
I'm shocked. Like, you know, just because I don't see how somebody can do that to a kid.
People living at the Hunters Ridge Apartments have been waiting over a year for updates into what happened to 3-year-old Braylen Noble. His mother, Dejanay Cox, and grandmother, Bobby Johnson, are now facing charges.
It doesn't surprise me at all, actually, like not a single bit, but it surprises me that they're just now coming out with this information so much, like way after this all, they found the baby and everything happened.
He was reported missing and found dead 5 days later in the community pool. Neighbors say the story from the mother never made sense.
I always had like suspicion that it had something to do with the parents or the mother and the grandmother.
I knew that story was a lie because, you know, even if a kid fell out the window, you would be able, I mean, the kid would be on the floor, right? He wouldn't be moving.
Well said, young man. Listen at this again.
Pool. Neighbors say the story from the mother never made sense.
I always had like suspicion that it had something to do with the parents or the mother and the grandmother.
I knew that story was a lie because, you know, even if a kid fell out the window, you would be able, I mean, the kid would be on the floor, right? He wouldn't be moving. I knew that story was a lie because, you know, even if a kid fell out the window, you would be able, I mean, the kid would be on the floor, right? He wouldn't be moving.
Or the mother and the grandmother.
I knew that story was a lie because, you know, even if a kid fell out the window, you would be able, I mean, the kid would be on the floor, right? He wouldn't be moving.
This boy is too small to fall at that level of impact to crawl away and end up in a pool drainage system, which the pool drainage system wasn't even working. It wasn't on. The boy was placed there. In my personal opinion, it was either I think it was the mother, in my opinion. But like I said, more than information is going to come out right now. That's just an opinion, an allegation.
Like the whole body was gone.
John Rivers has lived at Hunters Ridge for 5 years. He helped in the search for Braylen last year and says it was a big deal.
Like, I'm trying to raise my kid here, so the attention it brought, having people come here just to, you know, show love to the memorial was kind of weird because it was all types of different people here.
Cox and Johnson are innocent until proven guilty, but neighbors say they hope justice is served for Braylen and people never forget.
There's really nothing else we can do, I mean, but hope that nothing like that ever happens again.
Here's what I believe. I believe that the mom murdered the kid, tried to hide the kid days later, lied to the 911 operator, lied to the police, lied to the investigators, lied to the community, and then the grandmother tried to help her cover it up. I have no idea why grandmothers would try to, or parents would try to help their kids hide a grandchild's murder. Again, that's speculation, but this is what I believe based on what I see here. And I believe that's what happened to this baby boy. And again, I hope that they do go ahead and arrest him. I hope that all of the proper charges are put out there. And I hope that we actually find the real cause of death. If it takes more time to make sure what his actual cause of death was, so be it. We'll be here. We'll be ready. But that's the information we'll be looking for. And hopefully we can do an update. But this is a very, very, very huge update for people who sat for an entire year and had zero answers. So hopefully everybody understands and listens with an open mind as well as an open heart. And from my heart to yours, I love y'all. Thank you guys so much. To baby Braylen, young prince, beautiful little baby boy, R.I.P. They say this young man was nonverbal, but he's up there in heaven. I hope that he shines a message down and lets us know and tell the world what really happened. We want to know. Thank y'all so much. Advocate for children first, the AFC. That's what we are. All right? Peace. All right, guys, I want y'all to have a great day. Have a great night. Thank you guys so much. I thank y'all in the chat. I'm not exactly sure what was going on. People saying they want to call in. Maybe they were trolling. Maybe they weren't. I don't know. But I don't have time, and that is the end. We've been here for more than 2 hours. You have a great night. I love you guys. Send me an email at theafcmatters@gmail.com. Link is down there at the bottom if y'all want to. Oh, I do need to shout a couple people out. That just donated. So let me say thank you again to Beth. Beth, if you're listening, thank you. To Snazzy Girl, thank you. To Barb Ruth, 2 times, thank you. And to, let me make sure I can say your name, Karina, thank you. Everybody else, I've already shouted you guys out. Y'all have a great night. Love y'all. Have a good night. Peace.
You see, I'm just like you. Born and raised right here in Oklahoma City, an Oklahoma City public school product, and a former Division I college basketball player. As a husband and a father, I know exactly what it feels like to make that daily living, make that daily grind and support your family. My experience in corporate finance and as a college professor has taught me one thing, and that we make it to be what we want it to be. Can you imagine a city government with no limitations, catering to access to resources and tools for people who look just like you? Who says we can't end homelessness with creative solutions? Who says we can't have a citywide mentoring program that will cater to all youth in Oklahoma City that will put them on a path to be successful? Who says that the criminal justice system can't be equitable and cater to all walks of life, no matter your income or your position as a family? And as your Oklahoma City mayor, I will put people over politics. My name is Jimmy Lawson, and I look forward to having your vote on February the 8th, 2022. For more information about my campaign and how to make a campaign contribution, please visit www.lawsonforokc.com. See you at the polls.
Check out this wonderful organization that I'm proud to be a part of. It's called Bags for Kids, BAGS4KIDS.org. And check out their website. They really help a lot of kids in foster care, giving them a permanent piece of luggage and also a lot of items that they might need so that they feel that they belong, which they do. So go to the website, bags4kids.org. So go for it. It's a great place, and they're doing great work.
Exclusive new products that you will only see on my website at www.sayitwithchess.com. These products are made special by my mother, Keyline Designs. The hoodie blankie, the face mask, as well as the 4-in-1 African head wrap. Now the way it works, it is a reversible bonnet. It has a headband that you can wear alone. It has a matching face mask as well. Please be sure to go over to our website and check out these nice new products that you will not find anywhere else.
What's going on, guys? This your boy, DJ Just J with Just Down TNT, and I am your humble host of the AFC Podcast. And people ask me all the time, what is the AFC Podcast? This is a platform for us to have open and candid conversations about children who are being taken advantage of by people who are in charge of protecting them. So sometimes we discuss the latest things going on in the news, but we advocate for children first. I get so many emails and comments from people that love what I do, and I want to continue to keep bringing content that matters to YouTube. And I would like to thank you in advance for your consideration to contributing to my platform. You can help support this channel by way of the links that are in the description box of each and every video. And also, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. I would like to thank you again and welcome to the AFC Podcast, where we advocate for children first. We'll see you guys on the next stream. Peace.